Hey guys, Valued here, and today's my birthday. What better way to celebrate than to chat about my opinions on the range skills in Diablo 4? I've made a bunch of build guides showing you each build and how they operate, but rightfully so, it seems people are curious on where different builds shine and where they struggle. So today, I'm going to be ranking all three of the range builds in Diablo 4 based on these criteria: leveling, ease of build, speed farming, nightmare dungeon pushing, and boss damage. Each build will get a ranking from 1 to 3, 1 being the best and 3 being the worst compared to the other builds. Please remember, all these rankings are my opinion and they're based on builds that I've run with these core skills. You can make a rapid fire build that does great AoE, and you can also make a Penshot build that has decent boss damage. But these rankings are based on a balanced build. And those are the builds that I generally recommend anyone to play because of how expensive it is to respec in D4. I also want to apologize in advance. The gameplay shown on this video isn't going to be relevant all the way through because I'm currently progging on Lilith and it's taking all my golden energy, so I can't afford to respec into these builds to show relevant footage. But with all that out of the way, let's talk about Penetrating Shot. Penshot is, in my opinion, the most well-rounded build. The variant I'm referencing in this ranking is the build I showcased in yesterday's video that uses Penshot and Rapid Fire together. This build focuses on Penshot and doesn't run aspects for Rapid Fire, so it's a Penshot focused build. To kick things off, Penshot is definitely the hardest build to actually assemble. You need a lot of certain stats to make this build shine, and all the aspects are vital to finding those satisfying one-shots. But once you do assemble this build, it's awesome. For leveling, in my opinion, of these three options, I've found it to be the best because of how fast it clears content as long as you're not trying to push nightmare dungeons that are 20 levels above your own. Then, for speed clearing, I'm also going to give Penshot a 1. I find myself able to one-shot rooms of enemies and breeze through content that I'm leveled for. But when it comes to nightmare dungeon pushing, this build is not the best option in my opinion. The problem with Penshot is that if you're not one-shotting every mob, you're not getting those massive AoE explosions that you're probably used to. Additionally, Penshot struggles to kill shield minions and overall is not the best build for pushing in my opinion. For boss damage, Penshot also gets a 3 from me. Barrage and Rapid Fire destroy bosses, and Penshot by itself doesn't do enough boss damage to justify a higher ranking. For my closing thoughts about Penshot, if you're looking for a build that's going to push Nightmare Dungeon tier 80 or one-shot every boss in your path, this build might not be for you. But if you're looking for a build that's very versatile and an extremely fun time to play, Penshot is up your alley. Moving on, let's talk about Barrage. Barrage as a core skill is kind of in the middle of the pack for me. It's not the best at boss damage, it's also not the best at AoE damage, but it's good at both, just not great at either. Let me break it down a little better. For leveling, I'd personally rank it a 2. The reason is because it's so versatile and can do just about anything you need it to do. I also find it very easy to build, as you only really need a few of the aspects to start seeing some pretty big numbers, so it's going to be ranked 1 for ease of build. For speed clearing, it's also going to get a 2. Again, I personally think Barrage is awesome for speed clearing content because you can kill so many enemies at once, and you also have nice boss damage. But for pushing content, this build is not better than Rapid Fire, but it is better than Penshot in my opinion, so it's going to get a 2 for Nightmare Dungeon pushing. If you haven't gotten the theme yet, Barrage is also getting a 2 for boss damage. It's better than Penshot, not better than Rapid Fire. To sum up Barrage, it's the balanced core skill option. It's good at just about everything, just not great at one thing, which is very unlike Rapid Fire, which is a core skill that is the elite and boss destroyer. It's also a naturally strong core skill, which makes it the easiest to build of the three. For boss damage, Rapid Fire is going to get a 1 from me. No question, this core skill, no matter how you spec the other skills, is just the best of the three options for priority target damage. On top of that, it's also the best of these three for pushing high-level Nightmare Dungeons. It has very high burst damage, which becomes needed when you're pushing into higher level content. This skill can one-shot elites, shield minions, and it puts bosses down in no time. However, this build does struggle with AoE compared to the other two builds. And yes, I'm assuming I'm going to get this comment, but Valued, you can make it work for AoE, and you absolutely can. But I'm comparing these builds on their inherent strengths as a core skill. Rapid Fire requires the most effort to find success in a wider AoE situation. This also is going to put Rapid Fire at a 3 for speed farming in my opinion. Now, this is a hard ranking because yes, Rapid Fire doesn't need that many imbuements and traps and things like that, so you can have a ton of movement skills. But in terms of just how fast you're killing huge packs of mobs, it's a 3 for me. Rapid Fire is a hard one because it's really good, but I have to compare it to these other builds that have massive AoE potential, which in my opinion puts it at a 3. Again, you're welcome to disagree. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Alright, so all the builds are ranked, and it's probably hard to actually gauge any sort of a conclusion unless you've noticed the theme so far. So I'm going to talk about the builds and kind of where they specialize in my opinion. I personally think the builds stack up like this. Rapid Fire is the best option if you're looking to push harder content in the endgame, or if you're one of those people that's level 70 and wants to clear Nightmare Dungeon 55 for whatever reason. Penshot is my personal favorite for leveling and general content. While it does struggle in the harder content, I think this build is just the most fun objectively, and it's my go-to option when I'm group farming content or if I'm solo farming dungeons for ancestral drops. And then Barrage is a great option if you're looking for a balanced build that's rather easy to play. For me, I don't love Barrage because I don't find it that fun, but there are builds for Barrage like the one I showed in this video that are phenomenal. Now, if you're watching this far, you might have wondered why I didn't include Flurry or Twisting Blades. It's because of two reasons. First, I think we can all accept this. Twisting Blades has the strongest options for just about every variety of content. You can make a variant of TB that's the best at doing almost anything, including boss damage, AoE, anything. And the second reason I didn't include those two builds is just because I haven't played them a lot personally, and I don't want to talk about something I don't have a hard opinion about. I've seen a lot of content on those builds, and I know they're both great in certain scenarios, but it feels more genuine to me to actually rank the builds that I've played and I have experience with, so I know what I'm talking about. I hope this video has helped you to understand some more context behind some of the build guides I put up previously. I will say, if you disagree with my opinions, as everybody should because we all have different experiences, please express it in a constructive way. I'd love to hear what you think about all these builds, but I also don't want to be insulted, so please keep that in mind. That's going to do it for me though. I've got to get back to progging Lilith with my rapid fire build, so thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon with a video of my kill on Lilith. For anyone curious, I am working on the Discord still, and I do plan to start live streaming soon to try it out, so keep an eye out for future announcements. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. As always, my name has been Valued, and I'll see you in the next one.